Good evening. It is with great joy that I have this opportunity to speak with you all from Fenwick High School. Fenwick is open, Fenwick is safe, and Fenwick is ready to grow. My name is Joe Ori, and I'm the Director of Admissions at Fenwick High School. Tonight, I have asked members of our faculty to speak about Fenwick's approach to the humanities. We are all here tonight to share our perspective on Fenwick. We recognize that making a high school decision has become more and more important over the past decade, and we hope to offer an honest and straightforward presentation to you all tonight. Fenwick is a premier college preparatory high school guided by Dominican Catholic values. We give Chicago area students a superior academic choice and empower them to grow intellectually, spiritually, and emotionally in a proven environment. We are proud of our students and all of their achievements. At this time, I'd like to introduce the principal of Fenwick High School to start off our academic presentation. Mr. Peter Groom, principal.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ori, and I welcome you too to this event tonight. We appreciate your interest in Fenwick High School. To begin a little bit about myself, I'm beginning my 25th year at Fenwick High School. I have taught in both the social studies and world languages department, so this night is especially dear to my heart because we're covering two of those four disciplines. I've also had two children graduate from Fenwick. I have one that is a junior in college now and one that is a sophomore. And I can speak from experience in that the education that the kids receive here at Fenwick is transformational. And you'll hear a little bit about that tonight. Okay, so to begin, we're going to be talking about the humanities. That would include social studies, English, theology, and I will speak a little bit about world languages as well. And in the humanities, the kids really get a well-rounded education in several different areas. First, I would like to comment on our spoken oral communication. Every student that graduates from Fenwick takes a speech class. This speech class, too, is transformational for our kids. The kids will go into the speech class fearing public speaking, and they leave embracing it to the point where when they go off to college and beyond, they are the best among their peers in this area. Another area in the humanities where our kids really develop is in written communication. Our English teachers teach 4 classes rather than 5, a typical course load, because we want our teachers getting our students writing and writing high quality papers so that then when they go to college, that experience is far easier for them. And we see that. We also challenge our kids to think deeply, think about other perspectives. There's an old saying that those who don't know their opponent's argument don't truly understand their own. And we believe that here. And we like to give kids a lot of different perspectives so they themselves can formulate their own opinions on their own rather than being told what to think. The byproduct of this is an intellectually curious student who not only has developed skills that will help them succeed in college, but life. We don't think that we're just a college prep school. We do believe that we prepare our kids for life. Now, when we look at teachers, kids, people that are going to work with our kids, we look at a lot of different qualities. First of all, we want people that are intellectual, that are bright, that can pass on their knowledge to our kids. So we need them to be effective communicators as well. Along with that, we look for people that have empathy and also people of faith that can help our kids grow spiritually through their journey throughout high school. The teachers that are going to present tonight, the 3 of them all embody this, and they are among the best that we have at Fenwick. Now, just to briefly talk about world languages. At Fenwick, we have a 4-year language requirement. Students either take 4 years of one language or they take 2 years of 2 different languages. The languages that we offer are German, Latin, French, Spanish, Italian, and Mandarin, which is new to Fenwick this year. We find that our students gain an excellent foundation for the language during their studies here. And typically when they go on to college, they will continue their language studies in either the target language that they learned here, or they'll develop an appreciation of a new language and begin to explore that. Now, without further ado, I'm going to pass this on to our Teresa Steinmeier, who is a teacher in our English department and theology department. Ms. Steinmeier.
Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us at Fenwick tonight. My name is Teresa Steinmeier, and I'm a teacher in Fenwick's English and theology departments. I currently teach English 2 and morality in our theology department, and I previously worked with our English 3 American literature students in our AP language and composition course. At Fenwick, I help moderate the Wick. It's our students' award-winning newspaper. I help with our Right Place. It's their student peer writing center, and the SHIELD program, which is our freshman mentoring program that supports our incoming students from the moment they walk through the door. I count myself lucky to be a Fenwick alumna. I graduated from Park Junior High in the LaGrange area and was a parishioner at St. Francis as a high school student here. And I came to Fenwick without knowing a single person in the building. As a young person, I thought that Fenwick was the most magical place to go to school. It was really like being dropped off at Hogwarts. I participated in cross country, the math team, the literary magazine. I made friends from all over the city. And I thank my parents at least once a week still for sending me here. It's been an amazing place. After I graduated from Fenwick, I earned a bachelor's degree in English from Yale University and a master's in English from the University of Notre Dame. And I could not have asked for better preparation for college or graduate school than my Fenwick education. I have always been so grateful for the opportunity to attend Fenwick as a young adult, and this place has been one of the greatest blessings in my life. So, at Fenwick, our students are required to take 4 years of English, and our department offers courses at the college prep, honors, and advanced placement levels. All courses in our department challenge students to develop skills in critical reading, writing, and discussion, and we believe that it is important to provide students with firm foundations in language and vocabulary building, and we push our students to develop strong skills in literary analysis, critical thinking, and argumentative writing that will serve them well throughout their college studies and professional careers. All of our core English courses also target skills to help students excel in the PSAT, SAT, and ACT exams. English 1, the course that all students will take when you walk through the door as a freshman, focuses on genre study, discussion skills, the basics of literary analysis, composition, and grammar. Sophomores take English 2, a survey of American literature in which students will develop skills in argumentative writing and close reading, and they will foster interdisciplinary connections with their US history coursework in the social studies department. In English 3, students will engage in the rigorous study of diverse voices and perspectives from global and multicultural literature, and students will explore interdisciplinary connections with their moral theology coursework in the theology department. Finally, our seniors take a survey of British literature in which they study texts from Old English texts to postmodernism, and students will refine advanced critical analysis, research, and writing skills. We are proud that when our students leave Fenwick, they have developed a strong understanding of the English canon, as well as an appreciation for how the traditions of English literature still thrive in contemporary works. Our students leave Fenwick with rich exposure to research and collegiate writing skills, and with confidence in their own close reading and literary interpretations. Most importantly, our students are invested in what they learn. In the spirit of our Dominican tradition, students carry their discussions beyond the English classroom to use the skills they build here to become advocates and leaders in their own communities. Our English department offers a rich variety of elective courses. AP Language and Composition helps students build skills in rhetorical analysis, synthesis, and argumentative writing through the study of rigorous nonfiction texts and rhetorical modes. In creative writing, students develop skills in creative nonfiction, drama, poetry, prose, and publishing, and they help produce our award-winning literary magazine, Touchstone. The English department's elective courses also include a robust journalism program. Our yearbook students learn skills in layout, graphic design, writing, publishing, and they help produce our Blackfriars yearbook. Our print journalism course helps students build skills in newspaper and magazine reporting, research, writing, and layout. These students contribute to the WIC, and I'm proud that we currently have a team of over 40 students contributing to our newspaper this year. And our broadcast journalism course sequence helps students build skills in oral and written broadcast journalism skills and to learn the ins and outs of production. Students in these courses help produce broadcasting packages, and their work is performed on the morning announcements, and they also help provide coverage of televised sporting events for our school. Our well-rounded English department faculty brings to the classroom a wide variety of academic interests and effective pedagogical approaches. Most of our teachers have master's degrees, and we all adapt our instruction to match students in different learning styles and needs. Our teachers also work hard to establish nurturing learning environments where students feel supported to embrace challenges, reach their full potentials, and build relationships and discussions with one another. Finally, our department is proud to sponsor The Right Place. This is our Students' Peer Writing Center, where junior and senior volunteer student tutors are trained to work with their peers and alongside the English faculty to provide additional support to Fenwick students throughout the writing process. But the greatest strength of our English program will always be our students. We're so proud of them and the authentic joy that they take in the study of literature and writing at Fenwick. And it is the greatest blessing as a teacher to engage in conversations about great literature with our students. Thank you very much for joining us this evening and for considering Fenwick. And next, it is my pleasure to introduce Mr. Wickowitz from our Social Studies Department.
Good evening. Thank you, Ms. Steinmeier. My name is Arthur Wickowitz, and I am a history teacher here at Fenwick High School. I'm a graduate of class of 2011, and this is currently my 4th year teaching here at Fenwick. I currently teach history, world history, United States history, and economics. The social sciences department, just like the English department, likes to focus on thinking skills and reasoning skills. Some of those skills include sourcing and citations, claims and evidence in sources, contextualization, making connections, and argumentation, which the students also do cover in the speech class. The department also likes to take a special focus on reasoning. When we compare documents, we talk about the causation for events in world history and American history, and continuity and how things historically still affect us to this day. The department has 3 years of mandatory history classes, the first being a world history course, where it's 1 year, 2 classes. Each semester is a different class, Western civilizations and world civilizations. Sophomore year is the United States history course. And junior year, students either choose to take civics or AP United States government. The social studies department also offers a wide variety of elective courses for students to take. This can include African studies, American foreign policy in the modern world, Chicago, the life and history of the Western metropolis, East Asian history, college prep economics, European history, Latin American history, Middle Eastern history, music history, AP psychology, and AP world history. Students can take any of these electives, mainly their junior and senior years when they have an open slot, due to only requiring 3 social science courses. And that is it from the social studies department. We will be continuing to work with the English department in our pursuit of teaching students thinking and reasoning skills. And now I would like to pass it over to Brother Taut to talk about theology.
Good evening. It's my pleasure to be with you all tonight. I'm Brother Joe Trout. I'm the chair of the theology department at Fenwick. This is my 6th year teaching at Fenwick and 4th year as the department chair. And in my last couple of years leading these presentations at our open houses, I found there's really about 3 groups of people who come in to listen to the theology department presentation. One group is often the Catholic parents who are deeply invested in their Catholic faith, and they want to know real specifics about how we live out Catholic faith here at Fenwick High School. Now, there are a lot of practical questions that if you have about those, I'm not going to get into all of them tonight, but feel free to email if you really want to know specific details on that. Because another group that comes are the people who are a little frightened of all these men in white dresses who do not come from a Christian background, aren't quite sure, is this going to be a good fit if you don't have that same religious conviction? And then the third group are the people who just wandered in because they had somewhere to go or just haven't turned off the camera yet tonight. So what I'd like to offer all of you tonight from these different groups, different people wondering why a Catholic high school, why theology classes, and how do we approach that, is to simply talk first about what are our goals and what are the models we hold up as theology teachers here? And I'd like to do it by highlighting two Dominicans. First, Portolame De Las Casas. He was a 16th century Spanish missionary who worked in Central America, defending the rights of native peoples. He had quite a checkered past, but became a fierce advocate for the rights of indigenous peoples in the Americas. And in a time of fierce colonialization, of a kind of a might makes right mentality, he defended the notion that missionaries had to always respect the autonomy of people that they teach Christianity to. You can't just force them into being Christians. Sadly, he probably didn't do that because that probably wasn't the practice at the time, didn't seem to be. But it's an important point that even in the most intensive times, the teaching of Christianity is one that is done in respect and love. It can never be indoctrination. And that is something we hold ourselves to here, that we present ideas. We present the truth of claims that, as theology teachers, we've staked our whole careers in. And we do absolutely believe that the Catholic faith is true and is right and can be analyzed as an objective topic. But that doesn't mean that we force anyone to believe anything. That doesn't mean that we require people to think any particular way. They have to understand ideas, as the other departments have talked about, analyze, think critically, understand what an author has put forward, understand what some thinker claims is true, and respond whether they agree with that or not. But that agreement is their choice. We're not here to force them to become something. Right? And so we have to live with that humility ourselves. We are not God. We are not here to make anyone be a particular kind of person, though we certainly hope to inspire them. We certainly hope to be an example of what Christianity looks like, even with our different flaws. Now, to be clear, we do have a lot of different Catholic activities they take part in at Fenwick, between masses, retreats, service hours, but that all falls under campus ministry. Theology really does stick to being an academic class about ideas and concepts. And though we weave a lot of that in at different points, I'll leave those questions at campus ministry. You can direct them to Miss Mary Beth May, our campus minister. All right, so the second Dominican, much better known, St. Thomas Aquinas, or if you watch The Good Place, Tommy Quine. He's so far the only saint I know of who has a nickname on network primetime comedy. And he is one of the greatest thinkers in human history, one of the exemplars of theology, great writer, great master. And our students learn an awful lot about his different claims, study his work, and really learn to think as he thought. So I'd just like to highlight one thing of his many great accomplishments. That's this. Thomas Aquinas was a skilled and dignified debater. He engaged the thought of great Jewish philosophers, Islamic studies, Muslim thinkers. He thought respectfully about these other groups, that he engaged their arguments themselves, and actually sometimes even polished up their arguments and tried to make them sound even more reasonable and even more plausible, and then explained why he disagreed. Never disrespectfully, never looking down, no straw men, no ad hominems, simply engaging ideas in the search of what is true. This is what we strive to teach our students to do here, to think theologically in a broad-minded way, that we can stay rooted in the truth of what we believe, that we can stay rooted in central convictions without having anxiety about this thought, that thought, this topic, that topic. In other words, there's no need to be threatened in engaging what is actually true in this world. How do things work? Is there meaning out there? Is there something beyond us? How do we have confidence in pondering those ideas and trying to go somewhere with it, trying to actually come to some conclusions? Okay, those are the models we hold up for ourselves. I can't promise you we're perfect at that, but that is what we strive to be. So with a couple minutes left, I think I've run out of time here. So just a few details. Fenwick Theology is the easy one. Other departments have plenty of electives. At present, we just have a 4-year sequence that they progress through from freshmen to seniors. Freshmen engage the Bible. They look at it from a narrative perspective, because the Bible is trying to capture a story about all of reality. It's giving this narrative view of what life is all about, how the universe works. Sophomores move into specifics about Jesus Christ. Why is he so central, and how does his work and ministry and life, how does that matter to us now? And then they get into spirituality. Juniors, as Ms. Steinmeier said, learn about morality. It's my favorite class to teach, because morality does deal in what's right or wrong, good and bad actions, but it's mostly about what is a good life? How will you know that you've lived well? How will you know at the end of the day that what you did was worth it. That's what we dive into in a whole bunch of different specific ways. And I think it's actually one of the most crucial classes that people need in this world, especially juniors who are trying to figure out their future. What do they want? What's worth striving for, and what can guide us in that process? And then lastly, seniors study world religions and sacraments. As they prepare to leave Fenwick, head out into the broader world to know much more about the other religions that they'll encounter in day-to-day life in college, and the idea of the sacraments that ground our life as Catholics. Ultimately, all of this is about helping our students to live meaningful lives. As Mr. Groom said, as others said, we learn this for the sake of living well. We learn to think critically so that what we do is a good life, and so that we can contribute to society. And it's easy to forget that Catholicism at its heart is actually just a religion about relationships. It's got tons of dogmas. Students answer thousands of different questions about the ideas of Catholicism. But at its heart, it is about love of God, love of neighbor, love of self, an imitation of that God who gave his very own life for us. And how do we learn to love like that? Live with the kind of love that redeems the world. So that is what we strive for here. Not cheap imitations of love, true sacrificial love. And as St. Paul says, these three things remain: faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these is love. All right, thank you all very much for your time tonight. Please feel free to email if you have specific questions about theology, and I'm going to hand this over to Mr. Joe Ori to wrap us up. Take care.
Wow, thank you, Brother Trout. Thank you once again for joining us for this virtual presentation. Please refer to our website for future presentations and for virtual tour opportunities. Worth noting, next Tuesday, please join us at the same time as we present Fenwick's approach to STEM. The following week, same time, same day, Fenwick's approach to the expressive arts. We are looking forward to a great new group of future friars. If at any point you have questions about your children at Fenwick, please do not hesitate to reach out to me directly or to our office. We look forward to hearing from you. On behalf of Fenwick High School, thank you for joining us tonight. Have a good evening.